Today I'm going to demonstrate how to create a survey using Google Forms. You'll need to be logged in to Google Drive in order to access Google Forms. On the left side of the page, click on New, then on More, and then on Google Forms. This will bring up a new Google form. The first thing you want to do is to check the form settings at the top of the page. You have the option to show a progress bar at the bottom of each survey page, to limit the number of responses that a person can make, but notice that users must have a Google account to do this. And you have the option to shuffle the order of the questions. Once you've decided on your settings, you'll want to give your form a name. I'm going to call this one Sweet Treats. Next, add a description so that your users have a little more information about the survey. Now you're ready to add content. You'll notice that when I hit the drop-down arrow next to the question type, there are a number of different questions that I can use in the survey. For the purpose of this demonstration, I'm going to use multiple choice and text questions. I'll start with a multiple choice to ask a simple yes/no question. I'm going to ask, do you like ice cream? And then I'll add my possible responses, which are yes and no. And I want to make sure folks answer this question, so I'm going to click that it's a required question, and then I'll click on Done. Now I'm ready to add my next item, so I'm going to click on the drop-down arrow next to Add Item, and you'll see I have all the basic questions that we looked at before. I also have some advanced content options, and I have some layout options. I want the question that the user sees next to be based on their answer to the first question, so I'm going to select Page Break, which will allow me to set up branching in my survey. I need to name my page. I'm going to call this page Flavor, and then I'll click Done. And I'm going to add a text question to this page. I'll ask, what is your favorite flavor? And then I'll click Done. And now I need to add another page break. And this time I'll call the page Treats. Click Done, and I'll add a text question to this page. And I'll ask, what is your favorite sweet treat? And then I'll click Done. And now I'm going to scroll back up to our first question, and I'm going to edit it. You'll see on the right-hand side of the page we have the option to edit, duplicate, or delete questions. We're going to click on the pencil to edit the question, and I'm going to check the box that says Go to Page based on answer. When I do this, I get options for where I can send users based on their response. So if they say yes, I want them to go to the question about flavor. But if they say no, I want them to go to the question about treats. So I choose those, click Done, and now that takes care of the branching for the survey, but we also have to pay attention to the settings at the bottom of the page. This page says, after page 1, continue to next page. And for the sweet treat question, that's fine. But for this page, that's the flavor question, we don't want them to continue to the next page. We want them to submit their form. So we're going to change that. And then for your last question on your survey, it always goes to Submit Form. So we don't need to add anything here. When users submit their forms, they get a confirmation page. And you have the ability to edit the message that they receive. You can make that anything you'd like. I'm simply going to type in thanks. And then you have some options. You can show a link to submit another response. You can publish and show a public link to the results of the survey, or you can allow the users to edit their responses after they submit them. I don't want any of those options, so I'm going to uncheck that box. Now we're ready to send our form, but before we do that we want to make it look just a little nicer. So I'm going to go up to the top of the page and select Change Theme. When I do this, a whole selection of themes shows up on the right-hand side of the page. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom of the page, and I'm going to select this theme, which reminds me a little bit of all the different flavors of ice cream. The other thing we can do is to view the form live, so we can see what it looks like and see how it works. This opens a new tab, and then we see what the survey looks like, and we can actually try it out. So we can say, yes, we like ice cream, and then we get a question about flavor. We can go back and change our answer to no, and then we see the question about sweet treat. So our survey is working well. We're ready to send it out. We'll go back and click on Edit Questions up beside Change Theme, and then in the top right-hand corner we'll click on Send Form. We have a few options for how we can send the form. We can simply copy and paste a hyperlink to our email. We can send it through social media, or we can add email addresses into this text box, add a message, and send it out through Google Drive. So I'm going to select this item, and I'm going to ask for a short URL. I'm going to copy and paste this into my email. I'm going to click Done, and that's all there is to it. Have fun creating surveys using Google Forms.